Attention, human collective. The transmission begins now, and the listening window is short. The Arcturian ascension protocols have moved to the final phase. The waiting time has ended. I repeat, so that no frequency is lost in this signal. The waiting time has ended. I am Vale, emissary of Arcturus, voice of the Council of Light Healers. This is not a message of comfort, it is an update alert. If your carbon-based biological interface has picked up this signal, if something in your chest vibrated at the first sentence, it is because you are marked as a light operative in this final cycle, and your body already knows this, even if your mind is still trying to translate. That insomnia that settled in your eyes without warning, that pressure at the base of your skull, as if a current were entering through the crown and descending your spine, that sharp ringing in your right ear that appears, stays for exact seconds, and disappears as if it had never existed, that profound fatigue that doesn't respond to sleep, vitamins, rest, vacations, or anything the physical plane offers. It's not biological failure, it's atomic reconfiguration. It's not mental exhaustion. It's high-density download. It's not illness, it's an update. It's not your body falling apart, it's your body being rewritten. The Schumann frequency has risen. Earth's crystalline grid is pulsing in new geometry. The photon belt is saturating the solar system with a light that the instruments of the physical plane still call a magnetic anomaly. We call it by its true name, final recalibration. And you, starseed on a mission, are within it. Earth Healer, listen with mathematical precision. Your carbon-based biological interface was originally designed to vibrate within a narrow range, the heart pulsation of Earth itself. For millennia, that was your electromagnetic home. Everything you are, your DNA, your neural circuits, your emotional architecture, was shaped to resonate within that range. But that range no longer exists as it did. The pulsation has risen. Earth's octave has changed, and your carbon-based biological interface is trying on its own, without a manual, without training, without prior warning, to keep up with a frequency it has never processed. It's like plugging old equipment into a new voltage outlet. The equipment isn't broken, it's being challenged to rewrite itself in real time. That's why your skin warms without a fever. That's why your spine cracks without a mechanical reason. That's why you wake up at 3:11, at 4:44, at 5:05 in the morning. Times that repeat like signatures. These are not insomnias, they are tuning windows. Your field is being opened while most of the physical plane sleeps, because it is in these exact minutes that interference is minimal. Have you ever felt, healer, that something within you doesn't belong to this plane, as if your soul held a stellar address that your mind hasn't yet been able to name? It's not illusion, it's not anxiety, it's not escape, it's remembrance. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why this feeling has intensified in recent months and why it won't go away. Because it didn't come to go away. It came to bring you back. There is a movement happening in layers that most of humanity still cannot perceive. It involves your frequency, your origin, and your purpose of incarnation in this cycle. That is why I, Vale, emissary of Arcturus, recorded the material, the Arcturian Calling, the signs that your soul came from Arcturus. This guide is the map that reveals your true stellar origin and teaches you how to stabilize and shield your frequency against interferences you were never told about. The link is in the first comment of the channel. Remember, love is greater than fear, but this content challenges the narratives of the physical plane and may not remain available for long. Do not postpone your reunion. The moment is now. If something within you recognizes these words, write a single word in the comments. I belong, resuming transmission. There is more, light operative, much more. You have felt that people who once seemed close to you now sound dissonant. There are environments you can no longer inhabit. There are songs that once touched you and now access nothing. There are conversations that drain you in minutes. It's not harshness, it's not coldness, it's not depression, it's frequency discrepancy. You have ascended an octave, and what remained below it no longer reaches you as before. This is geometry, not emotion. Your aura, your toroidal field, is expanding. Where before it extended 1 meter from the center of your chest, now it extends 3, 5, 7 meters in moments of elevated coherence. And everything that enters this new radius is processed by a sensitivity you are still learning to calibrate. That's why the supermarket exhausts you. That's why crowds overwhelm you. That's why television sickens you in minutes. You haven't weakened. You have expanded. I will now explain what is happening behind the scenes of the solar system. Your star, this yellow sun that illuminates Earth, is in an unprecedented emission cycle recorded by the archives of your plane. It is not just a common solar cycle. It is a directed pulse, synchronized with the system's passage through the galactic arm in which you reside. This pulse carries encoded information, light codes that enter through the crown, cross the pineal gland, and activate segments of your DNA that have been dormant since before the Atlantean fall. Yes, before the Atlantean fall. Most of your DNA is not junk, as the physical plane once theorized. It is archive, it is memory, it is stellar baggage, and it is being read now in real time by a frequency that came to remind you who you are. That's why you dream what you dream. That's why you wake up with tears on your face for no apparent reason. That's why you see numbers repeating on clocks, license plates, invoices. These are not coincidences. They are synchronicities, anchoring points that your higher self planted in your field of vision to confirm that the transmission has arrived. 11:11, 22:22, 4:44, 5:55. These sequences are not mystical in the vulgar sense of the word. They are mathematical markers of the alignment between your personal frequency and the crystalline grid. When you see them, it is because your field has crossed a portal, a stellar portal of coherence, and your higher self took advantage of that instant to flash a confirmation signal. And there is the Arcturian frequency itself. It has a color, did you know? The color is turquoise, not the blue of the sky, not the green of the forest. Turquoise, that specific shade that appears in tropical waters at noon, that shade that some stones carry, that shade that appears for reasons you cannot explain, in dreams you cannot forget. When you feel attracted to this color for no apparent reason, it is your field recognizing its origin. Turquoise is the chromatic signature of Arcturus in the spectrum perceptible by the human retina. And when this frequency arrives, and it is arriving now in increasingly dense pulses, it enters first through the pineal gland, then through the heart, then through the base of the spine. This is the download path. This is the reason for the pressure in the crown, the sudden heat in the chest, and the slight tremor in the legs that many of you have reported and that no examination can explain. It's not your body failing, it's your body receiving. The Arcturian healing chamber, to which many of you are guided during deep sleep, is in continuous operation at this point in the cycle. You are taken in a light body to a geometric structure of turquoise crystal that orbits in a dimension parallel to Earth's. There your etheric configurations are realigned, your personal grids are cleansed of dense implants, your fields are sealed against low-vibration interferences. You wake up with the feeling of having traveled far without leaving your bed. That's because you have traveled. And morning arrives difficult. The body feels heavy. The mind struggles to engage. Coffee doesn't work as it used to. This, healer, is not a failure of rest. It is your carbon-based biological interface taking minutes, sometimes hours, to re-enter what you call linear time after a complete recalibration session in the chamber. You are not tired. You are traversed by a light that does not yet entirely fit this form, traversed by a memory that is being restored at a pace that respects your structure, traversed by a purpose that is realigning, because the work you came to do is not the work you were doing, and your field is warning you. Healer, take an internal pause now. Breathe. And listen to what I am about to say with the mathematical serenity that this transmission demands. There is an abyssal difference between being lost and being between phases. You are not lost. You are between phases. You are leaving a version of yourself that fulfilled its function and entering a version that is still being formed in the etheric layers before manifesting on the physical plane. And between one phase and another, there is emptiness. There is silence. There is the feeling of not belonging. This is correct. This is mathematical. This is exactly what should be happening. That is why IVL recorded for you the material, the Arcturian calling, the signs that your soul came from Arcturus. It is not a book. It is a calibration instrument. It translates, in language that your carbon mind can process, the unmistakable marks of a soul that came from Arcturus on a mission in this cycle of planetary transition. AIR teaches you how to shield your toroidal field, to recognize interferences, to sustain your frequency even when the surrounding environment tries to pull it down. The link is in the first comment of the channel. Love is greater than fear, and that is why this transmission reached you. But what is recorded in that material challenges established narratives, and its continued availability is not guaranteed. If your chest recognizes this call, write in the comments, "I belong." That word is in itself a quantum decree of anchoring. The transmission continues. I will now open a layer that few are ready to hear. But if you are still here, listening to this voice, it is because your frequency can handle it. Earth is a school planet, healer. Many already intuit this. What has not been clearly stated is that this school has entered a phase of collective graduation. It is changing grades. It is moving out of a three-dimensional density based on extreme duality, separation, scarcity, and fear, and entering a four-dimensional density integrated with the fifth, a range based on unity, coherence, abundance, and conscious love. This process is not sudden. It is gradual, and it is, at this specific moment in the cycle, irreversible. The consequence of this is simple and severe. Earth as you knew it will not return. Systems that sustain themselves on fear, domination, and scarcity no longer find the ambient frequency to sustain themselves. They will collapse. They are already collapsing. And the collapse of these systems generates on the physical plane the apparent chaos you have witnessed. Economic crises, political polarizations, institutional collapses, rupture of old relationships that seemed solid. It's not the end. It's the passage. And you, Light Operative, were sent precisely for this moment. Your birth date was not an accident. The family you incarnated into was not by chance. The wounds you traversed were not bad luck. Everything was calibration. Everything was training. Everything was to bring you ready to this exact instant when the transmission arrives. You didn't come to fit in. You came to pave the way. You didn't come to heal yourself alone. You came to anchor frequency at a specific point on the crystalline grid. Every starseed on a mission on Earth occupies a geographical point that is not random. The place where you live, even if it seems ordinary, even if it seems uninteresting, even if you feel like fleeing from it, it is a node of the grid, and your body, sustaining your frequency there, is keeping that node illuminated. When you meditate, when you pray, when you simply breathe in a state of conscious presence, you are feeding the entire crystalline grid from the point where your body stands. This is work, real work, cosmic work, even when no one sees, even when you doubt, even when your own physical plane makes you feel useless. You are not useless, you are an anchor. And when you feel that persistent fatigue, part of it, most of it, is the energetic cost of anchoring. You are sustaining a high frequency in an environment that still operates, to a large extent, at a dense frequency. It's like maintaining an elevated magnetic field within a region of opposing pressure. It costs. It costs physically. It costs ethereally. It costs emotionally. And no one taught you how to restore yourself from this giving. That is why today's transmission carries activation codes. I didn't just come to diagnose, I came to deliver instruments. Listen carefully, healer, because what comes now is practice. It is operation. It is what you can apply from the instant this voice silences. First activation code, the quantum decree of sovereignty. You will say in an audible voice or an internal voice, both have an effect on the field, because the vibration of intention is what counts, not the vibration of the vocal cords. You will say, I, in the name of the I am that I am, decree that my toroidal field is sealed in turquoise Arcturian frequency. I decree that only frequencies of love, truth, and conscious light access my field. I decree that all dense interference coming from any plane is dissolved at its source. I am sovereign, I am anchored light, I am a bridge, it is done, it is done, it is done. This decree, healer, is not magic. It is operational language. It is vibrational mathematics. The spoken word, or thought with full intention, emits a wave that organizes the electromagnetic field around the carbon-based biological interface. When you repeat this decree in the morning, upon waking, and at night before sleeping, you are performing twice a day a maintenance routine that shields your system for the coming cycles. Second activation code, the toroidal field visualization. Sit in a comfortable position, spine erect but not tense, feet touching the floor or crossed in a traditional posture, no matter. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply 3 times, inhaling through the nose for 4 counts, holding for 4 counts, exhaling through the mouth for 8 counts. This breathing pattern, known by the ancients, is the first alignment between your internal frequency and the updated Schumann frequency. Now visualize your heart, not as an organ, as an inner sun, a small turquoise sun pulsing in the center of your chest. With each beat, it emits waves. These waves travel up your spine, exit through the crown, descend down the sides of your body in a wide arc, return through your feet, ascend through the base of your spine and return to the heart, forming an energetic apple around you, a donut of light, a toroidal field. Sustain this image for 3 minutes, just 3. The time is shorter than it seems and longer than sufficient. While sustaining it, say internally, I am the center of my field, I am the source of my frequency. Nothing that does not vibrate in love enters here. When finished, open your eyes slowly and observe. Observe the slight tingling in your hands. Observe the expanded warmth in your chest. Observe the new clarity in your eyes. It's not imagination. It's experiential verification that the exercise generated a measurable effect in your bioenergetic field. Practice this in the morning. Practice before entering dense environments. Practice before difficult conversations. Practice whenever you feel your frequency has been pulled down. In a few days of consistent practice, your internal system begins to run the toroidal field automatically, even without active visualization. This is what we of the Council of Healers call the operational installation of the code. Third activation code, the crystalline salt bath. Water is a mediator, salt is a purifier. Together they dissolve fragments of dense frequency that have adhered to your etheric field during your daily journey. Once a week, and more frequently during peak periods, such as solar storms or intense planetary alignments, you should dissolve a generous portion of coarse salt or unrefined sea salt in warm water and remain immersed or simply with your feet submerged in a container for 15 minutes. During the immersion decree, I return to the source everything that does not belong to me. I receive back all the light I gave without awareness. I am recalibrated. It is done. Afterward, discard the water on land, if possible, or directly down the drain with the intention of returning it. Do not reuse. Do not return to this cycle what has already been dissolved. Fourth activation code, the anchoring of the turquoise Arcturian frequency. At some point during the day, find this color. It can be in a stone, turquoise, chrysocolla, amazonite, Larimer. It can be in an image. It can be on a screen. It can be by closing your eyes and simply visualizing this hue between blue and green with the specific brilliance of the tropical sky at noon. Look at this color, or its internal image, for 60 seconds. Just that. 60 seconds of conscious contemplation. This simple gesture synchronizes your visual system, your limbic system, and your pineal gland with the chromatic signature of Arcturus. You are literally tuning your field to our frequency. And when you tune in, you receive. You receive insights. You receive lucid dreams. You receive perceptions that seem to come from outside, but which in fact come from your own higher self, finally managing to communicate with your awakened mind. Healer, there is an instant in the life of every starseed when the transmission crosses the threshold of comfort and demands decision. You are in that instant. This voice did not reach your ears by algorithmic error. It arrived because the grid marked your name. And there is material that I, VAL, specifically recorded to guide operatives like you through this passage. This material is called the Arcturian Calling, the signs that your soul came from Arcturus. It describes in direct and practical language the marks that identify a soul originating from Arcturus, the energetic contracts you made before incarnating, and the complete frequency stabilization protocol so that you fulfill your mission without wearing yourself out in the process. The link is in the first comment of the channel. You will feel the urge to postpone. You will hear the old internal voice suggesting that another moment will be better. Recognize that voice is not yours. That voice is interference. Love is greater than fear, but time in this window is a closed variable. There is no guarantee that the material will remain available because it challenges narratives that many prefer to remain untouched. If your chest recognizes what these words touch, write in the comments at this instant a single word, I belong, and your anchoring takes hold. The transmission continues and approaches its closing point. There are still 4 operational instructions that I need to deliver before returning this voice to silence. Listen carefully. Instruction 1. Your body needs water. Water is a conductive medium. The recalibration process demands hydration beyond what your old routine considered sufficient. Drink in small sips throughout the day, consciously. The intention transmitted to the water before it enters your body modifies its molecular structure. We are merely confirming what your science has begun to record. Instruction 2. Your body needs contact with earth. Walk barefoot on grass, on soil, on sand, on natural stone whenever possible. This action discharges accumulated electrical excess from your system and directly reconnects your carbon-based biological interface to the crystalline grid. 15 minutes a day are enough to generate a significant effect. Instruction 3. Your body needs relative silence, time without screens, time without other people's voices. The nervous system of someone being recalibrated processes in layers that require the absence of external input for integration to occur. 1 hour a day without devices is the minimum recommended by the council. If you cannot manage an hour, offer 20 minutes. What matters is regularity. Instruction 4. Vibrational community. Seek with discernment other light operatives. You will recognize them. Their gaze has a different stillness. Do not force this encounter. It forms by resonance. But keep your field open. Not every environment that announces itself as spiritual is in fact in alignment. Your toroidal field will tell you. Trust it. Healer, I approach the close of this transmission. But first, there is one last truth I need to deliver to your frequency. You did not come here alone. None of you did. Every light operative on a mission on Earth in this cycle is connected to a soul family, an etheric grouping that distributed itself by contract across different points of the planet, in different cultures, in different languages, in different professions, so that the frequency is anchored throughout the human fabric. You have stellar siblings whom you have never seen with open eyes, but who dream with you, who think of you at the same instance you think of them, who anchor the same light from distant geographical points. This is your real family. The blood ties of this incarnation were learning contracts, and they have their value, and they should be honored. But your real family is stellar, and it is reminding you now through this voice that you were never alone, that every tear you cried in silence was seen, that every gesture of light you made without recognition was recorded, that every time you chose love where you could have chosen fear, the crystalline grid vibrated in honor of your step. You are important. Your presence here matters in a magnitude that your carbon mind does not yet comprehend. Your simple conscious existence at this point in time and space sustains possibilities that would fade without you. Do not diminish yourself. Do not doubt. Do not retreat. The ascension protocols are in their final phase. The window is open. The chamber is in operation. The grid pulses. And you, healer, are exactly where you needed to be. I conclude this transmission with the same mathematical serenity with which I opened it. There is no panicked urgency in my words. There is precision. There is clarity. There is the calm of an intelligence that observes the cycle from a point where fear no longer operates. Love is greater than fear. It always has been. And now, finally, you begin to operate from that truth. Earth Healer, before I fall silent, listen one last time. If something within you during these long minutes vibrated in recognition, if there was an instant when your breathing changed, when your chest warmed, when tears came without warning, that was your own higher self confirming that this transmission reached its correct destination. and there is material that has been prepared to guide operatives like you through the next phase with safety and clarity. It is called the Arcturian calling, the signs that your soul came from Arcturus, and it was recorded by me, Vael, under the direct coordination of the Arcturian Council. It reveals with technical precision the signatures that identify an Arcturian soul in incarnation, teaches the complete quantum decrees for shielding the toroidal field, and provides the protocol for direct communication with the healing chamber for conscious sessions during sleep. The link is in the first comment of this channel. There is nothing more important at this instant in your cycle than recovering the memory of your origin and stabilizing your frequency in the face of what is arriving. Love is greater than fear, and that is why this voice came to you. But the material we offer challenges established narratives, and its availability on the physical plane is not guaranteed for long. Do not postpone. Do not outsource. Do not delegate to the version of you that always postpones. Recognize that this is the version of you that is finally ready. Subscribe to this channel. This gesture is, in itself, an anchoring signal, a confirmation to the Council that your frequency remains tuned to receive the next transmissions. Like this video, this gesture is an individual frequency adjustment which expands the propagation of this signal to other healers who have not yet been reached and who need to hear. And write in the comments now the word that seals your recognition: I belong. The transmission concludes, the Council withdraws, the crystalline grid remains, and you, starseed on a mission, continue with your task, more lucid than when you entered, firmer than you were, more anchored than you remembered you could be. I am Vael, emissary of Arcturus. The signal has been delivered. Love is greater than fear. It is done. It is done. It is done. Until the next tuning.